Hello and welcome back to the channel. Back on the workbench today is my Tamiya Juggernaut project yet again. Before we delve in, please enjoy this short clip. So yeah, what was going on there at the end is she was actually in front wheel drive mode. So I lifted her up and the rear drive shaft was still spinning, but the rear tires were not. So we're gonna try to dissect her yet again. And in my opinion, probably the 3D printed part that I designed did not last. So that's what we're going to dive into. Okay, so I have a bit more stuff on the workbench now. To be honest, it's been a little over 2 weeks since I filmed a previous segment. I was waiting on some parts in the mail, which I hope I'll remember to discuss in this video. Anyway, back to the topic. Yes, so as I suspected, the the teeth strip on the 3D printed uh, differential housing. I realized this after the fact that I printed them in the finest resolution possible, which makes the parts look better, but not stronger compared to when printed in a coarser setting. I decided to go a different route for now. I might apply this in my other project, which might be tamer than this truck. Um, since I have an extra set of differential gears and housings, I went back to my original thought to find a better way to seal the stock differential. So um, this time I used excuse me. This time I used the gray Permatex gasket, and I carefully applied a thin layer on the mating surfaces using a toothpick. You can't really tell because the metal are also gray, and I left the gasket maker to dry overnight. Then I poured the 100K CST in the basically the one that's in the rear differential or rear axle. I was gonna pour the 80K for the front, which this are going to be. But I witnessed some slippage with the 80K, so I've decided to go with 100K for both front and rear. Um, so the stuff that I was waiting on, uh, I've decided to go with. If you guys don't know what this is, basically, this is from the TXC trucks. The basically the stubby shaft, the stubby shafts that the yoke, the drive shaft yokes attached to. So the Juggernaut one, original Juggernaut, and Juggernaut two both have the 5 millimeter stubby axles, and the TXTs one and two have the 6 mil. To convert them, all I really need is different bearings. So let me see if I can demonstrate. Put that aside. Okay, so really the only difference are the bearings. Basically, the new bearings will have bigger internal diameter, which is 6 millimeters. This gear remains the same, and these the Eclipse remains the same. So if I could get these off real quick. My trick is basically use the same tool that I used to get those. That's miraculous that it didn't go flying elsewhere. There we go. All right, so like I said, so if you look at the ends here, um, so I take it back, like just one. Uh, this the tips are the same, so these ends are different. So these two bearings on the back, um, on the inside, or on yeah, on the outside rather, gets replaced. I think they're 1260, and the other ones are 1250s. So like I said, the E-clips are the same. Reason being, you, you don't want the bigger E-clips to hinder the basically the bearings race. All right, so and then like I said, the bevel gear remains the same, and the bearing on the tip remains the same. Basically, this bearing is are the same as these bearings. They have the 5 millimeter internal diameter. So I can now put this in here. There you go. But I'm gonna take out this one. Still has the 3D printed um, differential, so I'm gonna take that out. Swap. Yeah, swap the differentials. I have new, like I said, new gears for this. So yeah, I have another full set of gears. They're new. Um, I felt like the the ones that was in there um, are kind of, the teeth were kind of messed up from all the when I was testing, putting the truck through the ringer when with the 3S lipo battery. So I'm gonna, like I mentioned, I'm gonna go with 2S for now, and I want the truck to live longer, basically. The When I was trying to do the calculation, so basically the 1700 kV motor that's in there, because it's more of a direct drive to basically I'm basically eliminating one of the idler gears. So it's kind of more of a direct drive. So it's actually equivalent to a 10.5 T motor. I think the one that's from Tamiya, their 10.5 brushless motor is 3500 kV. So it's got right around there. So 3500 kV. All right. So all I need from this are the axles, really. So I'm looking at this. Um, this doesn't look like there's any. Oh, maybe there's a slight leak at the end. No, just shiny. Nope. So I don't see any leaks from the O-ring installations. So there's maybe a little here because I see that O-ring the O-ring in the middle didn't set properly. It's like right there, it's bulging out. So, but anyway, I don't need this. I don't even need the gears inside of this. Because like I said, I have new ones. Um, and I don't see any wear. I don't see any wear on this gear. The rear diff took most of the blunt force. So I mean the design works, I think. Just the gear, the teeth couldn't hold the torque that the monstrous motor is putting out. So what I need, so this side would have to, have the, be on the non-geared side of the, oh no, this would have to be on the geared side. Because like, if I have to pour in here, I don't want the fluid getting in this hole. So um, because the this is the threaded side, so when I if I'm um actually it probably doesn't matter. I was thinking because I was thinking of the 3D printed part where if I try to top off the the differential with the fluid, I try to pour it on the side that doesn't have this uh, the shaft that has the hole, because I don't want to, yeah, like I said, I don't want it to get in there, and then when I try to put them together, it'll cause a like a hydraulic lock or whatever. Feel like there's something in there right now because I can't push it in. Maybe just a little bit. Let's try that again. Yeah, that's much better. There's nothing in there that's forcing it to come out. But I need O-rings. And I got them right here. Are these the right ones? I need to put this through first. Oops. I need to put this first before I actually put that. Trying to keep it clean. So this O-ring is 4.5 internal diameter, and then 6.5, 4.5 millimeters internal diameter, and then 6.5 external. 6.5 millimeters external diameter. And I've shown this on my my previous video um, how I install this. Okay, so now I'm gonna put a little bit of this silicone grease here. Oops. Q-tip. I just take some from the cap here. Basically, I'm just trying to make sure it's lubricated because I'm not gonna get in. I won't be able to get to this because the two O-rings are gonna lock the differential into place. And I'll just push that other one with the bearings, and there you go, it's locked into place. So that's sealing both ends of the holes, the hole. I'm using this my 3D printed wheels as my stand for when I pour the silicone in there. So for now, I'm just gonna leave this. I'll put this to the side. And we're gonna use this. This thing's like slow. What am I? Okay, wait. Before I make the same mistake as before. So I put a little bit of grease around this. And then we'll put one of the side bevel gears. Basically, it makes it smoother. There you go. And then now I can pour this. Just gotta do it like little by little because this doesn't have a same cap with the as the other one with the tiny hole. So like when it does that, I probably put too much already. You just gotta let gravity do its job from this point. That's probably a better way for me to do it. I could probably pick pick it out with a toothpick or something. Control control the flow better. I'll just use the other end of the Q-tip cleanup. So I'm gonna have to let this like sit for. Uh, I'll come back to it like tomorrow. So what I'll do for now is let this sit. I'll grab it like this. let it sit in there. It's not long enough, or not. Just the wheel's not long enough, so I stack them like that. So while I'm waiting for that, um, as for the parts that I was waiting on, yeah, like I said, I the the 6 mil uh shafts. I I forgot that Uncle Bob from Uncle Bob's RC had given me one of these as a trade item, and but I ended up buying one. I could have saved like $7, which could have which could have gone to a shipping charge. Um, yeah, Tamiko. I got these from Tamiko. So that. What else? So this is the one actually from Uncle Bob. This is the one I got from Tamiko. I also bought from Tamiko the hex nut that slides onto the spline. The E-clips are from the stock Juggernaut. So I still have the gearbox in there. I'm gonna have to switch them out. Uh, but so the now the I'm going this route because the drive shaft, or whatever you call these shafts. So if you see, I drilled that hole in there, which is 1/16 of an inch. It's about 1.6 millimeters, and I didn't want. It's the smallest drill bit that I had. I didn't want to weaken the shaft, so I didn't want to go bigger. But I did that because the problem that I was having in the past was like the grub screw. No matter how tight I would torque it down, it just the basically the drive shaft just keeps sliding off. So having that pin or that hole in there, and basically a grub screw that has a pin, um, prevents the axle, the drive shaft. I keep saying axle, the drive shaft from pulling out. This is not the one that I had in there. It is and it isn't. the Where is it? So if I don't know if you guys can see that, this one is like really mangled because of the amount of torque that the especially for the rear, the ones that drive in the rear axle, the amount of torque that it produces, the it twisted the drive shaft, and it still still slipped. And so that's why I wanted to go with the 6 millimeter one, because these have already pre-drilled holes in them, and obviously the holes are a lot bigger than the 1/16. I don't remember how big that one is, and obviously the pin that would go through those holes will be a lot stronger. So my dilemma now is, so the drive shaft, I just recently bought these, and obviously it's not gonna go in there. So what I did was buy this step drill bit. So this is in metric. It goes, tip is three mil. I don't know if you guys can see that. 3, 4, then 5, then 6. So I'm gonna have to basically just take this apart, because I want to be more like really accurate when I drill this. So I'm gonna put this on a vise and put it on a drill press or something, and then run the six million there. Kind of just started off, and um then I can like finish it off with like an actual drill bit. I just wanted to start it off and make sure that it's centered, or as center as possible, so that it's not wobbling around and stuff. There's a couple more things that I'm waiting on to finalize the build, but I don't want to jinx some things. I'm you know trying to bid on the auctions, so I don't want to kind of reveal them yet, and end up not I end up like not winning those bids. Um, so that's gonna be for another segment. So it's been a few days since the last segment, and I put this thing together, and I've been testing it, checking it for leaks, and on the seam and on the ends. I don't see any, so I'm gonna go ahead and button her up. But I'm gonna do that on another video. There were more parts that I was waiting on, and I'm a little disappointed with the carriers. I've contacted them, and they didn't get here on their designated arrival dates. So yep, I'm gonna have to film another part to this video, to this build project, and we're really close to the end. So I hope that you all follow along. So as I've always mentioned, if you like these type of content, please share my videos. Thank you for watching.